Hey there, 276. We have hit the end of October and it is officially cold as all get out season. So I hope you are doing your best to stay warm. It is 51 degrees in my dungeon office today and I am beeping cold. So for this next session, session 10, you have the 6.1 challenge problem. Let me assure you the following things are true. Number one is you have already built a portion of this project with the Chapter 5 challenge problems. This is what I'm going to tell you about the from here moving forward. And I mean that as from here moving forward in our classes, if Eagle was up on here, which it is not, but I also mean that in here moving forward in your developer's career. Is that especially here with chapter 6 when we're looking at functions and when we're looking at modular design, the whole aim of modular design is develop once, deploy multiple times. So that is a maxim that I am going to encourage you to use not just here, but moving forward through the rest of the challenge problems that we have left. There are, including this one, there are 3 challenge problems left. So let me again state that you have done a portion of this assignment already. So if you take a look, what you are doing is you are playing a game. It is a guessing game. So you have 10 chances to guess names in a file. Every correct guess will, display that was a correct guess. You need loops, you need concrete sequential, you need, file operations, you need everything that we have done to date to successfully complete this particular challenge problem. And again, the good news here is that you can use everything that you have done to date to complete this particular challenge problem. Let me suggest the following. Here, Monday, get started early. At least do yourself this favor. Before you just start coding everything out, think about what you need to do. What I'll tell you about the 6.1, the 7.1, and the 7.2 challenge problems is they are an order of magnitude larger than previous challenge problems. We are getting to the point in the semester where, because everything is cumulative, they grow, they grow, they grow. So here in chapter 6, because chapters 4 and 5 and now 6 were so big and weighty, these projects get to be big and weighty. So whereas in previous projects you may have been able to keep at least a considerable portion of the code and the logic and alternatives and troubleshooting and things like that, you were probably capable in large part of keeping those clear mentally. My suggestion to you here is the 6.1 challenge gets big, and it gets big fast. So my suggestion is to actually think first on a pencil and paper, or think first with notepad or something like that, and start typing your ideas out about what you think you need to do to maintain the logic. That is going to be a tremendous help to you. The other piece of, advice I would give you here is the following. Remember, when things are starting to go wrong, do not delete big chunks of code. I have just gotten done working with a couple of you from the chapter 5 problems where I saw you were remotely close, and then in the time it takes me to answer your question, to go through the code and send it back to you, what you have done is just destroy a big chunk of code that was this close to working. And what does that force you to do? It forces you to go back and start from the ground up, because now you've deleted it. Now that code is gone. Now you have to go back and start it from scratch. And what that does is it introduces new errors. What that does is it introduces new, hitches in your logic. What that will do here when we're working with functions and modular design is potentially, create a little bit of a discord, a naming convention error or something like that between your main and so where you are calling the function and the called function. So all of that slows you down. So I know it feels like you're moving faster when you delete this big block of code and then ram and we move forward, and that is not the case. Do yourself a favor, comment out the big block of code that you think is irrevocably broken. Go through it, make sure that it's not just a small error that's keeping a big block of code from being exactly correct, and go from there. Very, very rarely is it advisable to burn the whole thing down and start from scratch. Very, very probably all you have to do is change a couple of lines or even a couple of characters, and that will be more correct from there. So this week, 6.1 challenge problem, the let's play a game. If you will notice, because some of you notice and some of you do not, the very, very last line of the project description is a link to the file with the names in it, so you do not have to create a names file. You will have it there for you. All you have to do is upload that to the Files tab on the left-hand side in Replit, and away you go. So that is session 10 here already. Stay warm, get started early, message me if you have any problems. I know I've got a couple of you on board for meetings this week. For anybody else, and as you come into questions this week, what I'll tell you is I only have, it's the Thursday at 11:15 slot open at this point. So what I'm going to do is open my office hours even more generally than I usually do. So just in case you have issues, and questions or concerns or other topics that you want to explore, get a message out to me and we will work with what time works for that. We're just getting to the crunch time here, and you'll notice with me, and you'll probably notice with other instructors too, is our office hours start to really fill up about now. So, I hate to be cliche ridden, but the early bird catches the worm. So the early bird catches the instructor in this case. So I'm just letting you know. I don't believe that that's going to have an impact on anything particularly. I'm just providing background, I guess. So 6.1 challenge, give yourself extra time, reuse your code, don't burn everything down. Message me if you have any questions, and we'll see you at the top of session 11, which is really getting close to crunch time here. So have at it, everybody, and good luck. Stay warm.